Yes, we continue focusing on fallout of different congresses, what the political parties think with the PDP. But with respect to the case in Adamawa, that's what we focus on next. And Sonny Okim joins us. He's a public affairs analyst and also a journalist. Well, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, there in Adamawa, much as they've got this security challenge on their hands and how they need to sort it out, but you know, politics is also going on. They're talking about who gets what, which region produces, the governor. Even the governor himself also is sucked in on this one, because there are reports almost where you flip to telling them that, well, it looks as though has he been zoned out or zoned into the senatorial zone that can participate in the governorship elections?
Yeah, thank you very much. As you have rightly introduced me, I'm not a politician. I'm a public affairs commentator. I'm a journalist. And as a Nigerian, I observe things. As a journalist, I don't need to be there to know things that are happening. But as in the case of Adamawa State, the problem there has been on, and the issue is a really troubled state. For instance, between 2007 and now, they have sworn in 8 different governors at different times. It has never happened any other place in this country. So now the major issue is the governor is scared. You know, it's like the powers that be, powers up there, they want to zone him out. Whereas he's the sitting governor, as far as that state is concerned. You remember what happened? If you take your mind back, the former governor was impeached. For one thing or the other, he was impeached. Then this man was the deputy governor. The present governor was the deputy governor. By constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, naturally he's supposed to step in. But there were some issues. You remember the speaker came in because some people said, I think the House said the deputy governor had resigned, whereas this man did not resign. So he ran to the court. The court saved him. So he was sworn in. I think that happened the end of September. Now the party is saying, okay, we are talking of zoning. You are zoned, you must not come back. Quite against the policy of the party that we are saying, okay, first-time governors, they have the right to go back. So why, in this case, they don't want him to go back? So we are suspecting, as good observers, that somebody somewhere, a hand up there, is right there. So if it is the case, why don't they allow Adamawa politics to be played, to be practiced there? Why are people influencing things?
You know, one wonders, while, I mean, you say they've got 8, much more than other states in this country.
Yes.
Will they have time to focus on other things, security,
that is the problem.
What the people are going through?
That is the problem. You can imagine the president's governor, James Bala Ngilari. He was just sworn in less than 2 months ago, and they are beginning to trouble. When will he have time to sit down to talk of developing the states? Will he ever have time?
But you know, they have also heard that, I mean, at the time that happened, he was in court.
As at the zoning time. That is what we are saying.
How could he have participated in that?
That is what we are saying. He was never a party to the zoning. He was right in court.
Should he have been?
Of course. He should have been. It has always been so.
Even while his case had not been determined.
He should have been informed by the time it was his timing. As at the time the zoning case came up, he was in court trying to take over. You understand me, as a deputy then.
Should he worry? Because if he's that popular, I mean, Dr. Lafeso did say just now that, well, yeah, sometimes it depends on how popular you are. So you could come up and knock off the zoning arrangement, and if the people say this is who we want, then we go ahead and get it.
The people can only say this is who you want if you pass through the primaries of the party. If the party does not want you to be there, my brother, you can't be there. They will only allow you to go buy form, maybe appear during the screening and say, look, your zone cannot produce the governor, so you are no longer there.
But
so
they won't even let you get to the delegates to vote and select who they want. So the zoning arrangement is pre the time you get to the delegates to vote.
Yes. This man has picked the form already, you know. He has bought the form.
And, you know, I'm trying to go back in time and see if we can link this or relate this to what happened during the late President Yaradua. The PDP, we understand, zoned it to the north at that point in time. time, but very unfortunate. The president couldn't complete his term in office, and it fell on his vice, the present president, who was also from a different zone. If the PDP in Adamawa State had zoned this governorship to a certain, region in that state, are you saying now that it has come on the deputy, who is now the governor, irrespective of what zoning means in that place, he should recontest and see his term in office?
That is what the Constitution says. That is what the Constitution says. He should recontest. They should allow him to recontest. You see, the problem in Adamawa, if you follow the politics of Adamawa, Adamawa is divided into two major regions. That is the north and the central. And when you talk of the...
Where does the south fall in?
Why it is so, I'm talking of religion now.
Oh.
Religion
now.
Also the north, is dominated by the Christians in Adamawa State. When you talk of the central, it's dominated by the Muslims. And if you check, apart from 1999, that you had a Christian governor run 2 terms, it has never happened. So this time around, Nyako, he came from the central. He comes from the central, dominated by the Hausas, by the Fulanis. The present governor is from the north, a Christian. So the power play is between these 2 regions and these 2 religions. So the power play does not, the powers that be, they don't want this man to continue as the governor, but the constitution, by constitution, he is supposed to continue. He should be allowed to face the primaries. If he passes, the people vote for him, he should continue. And that is even what the PDP constitution says. So why in this case, they don't want him to continue?
It's always difficult when we talk about the day now, because one would have thought that the PDP at the national level should wade into this. If you say, a certain region or a certain tribe or religion had been in office for 2 consecutive terms, and now that it has, by some form of act of necessity, fallen on the former deputy who is now the governor, he too should
be allowed to
recontest.
Yes, that is it.
But from the last speaker, I'm coming back to what Mr. Alafes talked about. He said, well, the PDP as it stands now is out to bring its best forward and not to, fan the embers of discord in its party. So if we take a cue from that, can't these people who are on the governor's side write a letter by way of petition to the national headquarters of the PDP explaining some of these observations you raised?
That is supposed to be the case. That is supposed to. But what's in the case that some elements in the National Working Committee of the party that you want to write to, they are the people influencing. So what do? I don't want to mention names here, but I tell you, this thing is not out of the whole of an element in the presidency. And I've gotten the privilege of interacting with Adamawa people. Everybody is saying, look, there's one man in the presidency who is from Adamawa State that is causing all this. And they mention a particular name. I don't know if I should do that. The PPS to the president. Is it the Adamawa people or the political leadership in Adamawa? The Adamawa people. The Adamawa friends and colleagues that I've interacted with. In fact, they are quick to point at the PPS. That is the principal private secretary to the president. One Toko, Hazan Toko. They are saying he's the one doing this, and then the national chairman of the party. These are allegations. That's what I'm saying, but I don't want to mention these allegations. Even the national, that is the national PDP chairman, the national chairman, Adamu Mazu, of course, they say it's against the man there. Should it be so? What does the leadership of the party in the state say? The leadership is saying they want to zone it. They have zoned it. They have zoned it to the central, dominated by the Fulanis. This man is from the north, a Christian. But he has picked it. He has bought his form. He has bought his form. So if they zoned it, how did he buy form? How did they allow him to get the question. The form? Why did they allow him to buy the form? And you know, doesn't it mean that they've not zoned it? Pardon?
Does that mean that they haven't zoned it? Because if they zoned it, it's expected that you won't even
be allowed to get the form.
So but he got the form.
He got the form.
It means it's not been zoned.
No, maybe because they needed his money. So he has paid the form. You know how much it costs to buy the form.